So your question is, when starting the 3-year highly achievable plan and looking at internal analysis internally inside your company, what's the best place to start? My answer, people. But not with the traditional organization chart, rather a functional organization chart. Pull your leadership team together and do an exercise. And the exercise is where everybody would list the major functions on their own in the organization. So you'd have head of company, let's say sales, marketing, development/manufacturing, finance, HR, et cetera, whatever the functions are. Then on their own, have everybody write down in the next column, what's the name of the person that's accountable for that function. Then to the right of that, put what's the key result that we need out of each function. I'll use sales as an example. The key result is typically revenue or bookings or whatever you might call it. Then to the right of that, in the next column, put what's the key leading indicator. Using sales as an example, a key leading indicator to revenue typically has something to do with the pipeline, the sales pipeline. And then finally, the last column would be, do you have a scorecard for this function? Now the scorecard is not a job description. The scorecard is typically made up of two things. First is productivity. What are the productivity metrics that we need out of this function, whether it be on a daily, weekly, monthly, or quarterly basis? And the second important thing of the scorecard is the capabilities. What are the key capabilities that we need out of this function? Well, first you'll list your core values, but using sales as an example, a key capability would be listening skills. Now, when you have all this information, engage in a conversation with your team. And do you align on the functions? If not, get alignment. Do you align on the people that are accountable for those functions? Do you have two people, for example, in a particular function? If so, that typically causes confusion. Do you have a key function where there isn't anybody? Well, that's a problem. And then what about a situation if you have anybody that's listed 3 or more times? Rule of thumb is that person's stretched too thin and they didn't need to listen to this video blog to find that out. They already knew that. So have that conversation about all the information that I just discussed and get alignment on it. And now once you have alignment on your functional chart for today, go build it for 3 years out. Because again, this is all about where do we want to be in 3 years? And a key component is the internal analysis of what do we need to look like functionally in order to achieve our 3-year goal. And then once you've done it for where you want to be in 3 years, do it for 2 years. Now you have 3 functional charts, the current year, 2 years out, and 3 years out. And my recommendation is that on a quarterly basis, get together. So whether it's in a quarterly review meeting or a quarterly planning session, get together and make sure that you're making progress to where you need to be in 3 years. So if you have any questions or if you would like some help in creating your functional org chart, please let me know. Thank you.